So you can't make this up. The kind of hypocrisy that exists concerning Eurovision has to be exposed, even though the channel is about this lovely lady, Shiva lady, diva lady, dog lady. I have to do some videos about hypocrisy. So this black dog comedy has that. Himmler decides to join the Eurovision. And not too far from that is the hypocrisy we have to expose of Nemo. So let the Nazi speak for himself. Okay. I'm Nemo. I'm named after a fish who can't find his way back to his Nazi-loving family. To the company of his Nazi-loving company. Even though I'm immensely grateful in this, everything and experience has taught me both as a person, as an artist. Today I no longer feel like this company belongs. Eurovision says it stands for the inclusion and the values which made this contest so meaningful to me. Israel continued participation during what the UN independent. Yeah, the UN, the same one who taught kids Mein Kampf. The UN school and UNRWA, the same ones who participated in the massacre of 2023, October 7th. Yeah, these are very independent, neutral. They're very neutral bodies, the UN. Wrongdoing. I care so much about values. It should be clear something is wrong. Yes, why are other countries leaving? Maybe because they share your values, so I'm sending it back. He broke it and wrapped it in toilet paper. I'll always be grateful. So, this person wrote him. This person said, I just saw that your family was full of Nazis during World War II. I wonder what he can. Another one wrote, I hope you give a concert on the rooftop in Gaza. So I wonder what he said to that. Right. Can't get to see the answer. But is he kidding us? Is he actually kidding us? So this comes from a Swiss journalist called Christoph Mögle. All clear. Israel critic Nemo comes from a Nazi family. So he had no problem with the values, the family values. He had no problem with the meddlers making money off the Holocaust, supporting and supposedly neutral Switzerland supporting the Nazi party. So, musician, what do you really call him? Music? Can anybody hum the words, the music of the song? Nobody. The same thing with the Austrian guy who won. Can anybody hum the words, the music, or remember any words? No, because it doesn't have any structure, doesn't have any meaning, and definitely you wouldn't want to be caught dead wearing the clothes. No drag queen would be caught dead wearing what he was wearing. But let's forget that. The artistic criticism of his artistic abilities. So he returned the winner trophy. He was so disgusted by Israel's defending themselves. No, we're supposed to allow terrorists to invade our country, throw rockets at us, and allow them to kill us, just like World War II. So the worst massacre of animals, let's start from animals, children from the most vulnerable to, yeah, animals, children, women, and men massacred, also Arab, by the way, just because of their association to Israel. Does that remind you something of someone who has similar policies? Sure, the Nazis also shot animals and people that were associated in any way to Jews. So let's look. If Nemo does it, you can say it all again. All Israelis are collectively blamed for the Gaza war, because that's what they do. They collectively blame. 3 days after Nemo's announcement, 2 Islamic terrorists in Australia massacred 15 Jews. Will he ever speak against any massacre of Jews? No. Because his family values, the values that he thinks are so important to him, don't mean ever speaking one word against massacre of Jews or people that are associated with Jews, or animals even, or a cow. Do you like cows, Nemo? Do you even have emotions for cows? Why were the cows massacred, shot in the head by terrorists from Gaza? What did the cows ever do to them? Give them milk? Had already called for the exclusion of Israel. Israel, the land of the Jews, a horrible place. The only place where people like Nemo can walk in the street and not get shot. But we can't wait for Nemo to perform in Gaza. After his victory in Malmo, the Swiss singer turned away from the Israeli singer Eden Golan, who was booed in stage for singing a song that expresses emotions, what it's like to live in a country where people can just walk in and kidnap, hold hostages, torture them, rape them, murder children, abuse in the most horrific ways that make the Nazis look, the Nazi atrocities seem relatively harmless compared to what they did. They had ideas that I think even the Nazis didn't think about. I don't want to repeat them because it's very triggering, but they did horrific things, but nothing about that. Not a word against it. He should campaign for the Hamas to be able to participate in the Eurovision. He later campaigned for Palestinians on Instagram on various occasions. What a friend of terrorist Nemo is. No one ever expected him to use the musical stage to make political statements. Wow. But Nemo Mettler is quite certain. I don't believe that anything the world can be apolitical. And he's right. We should not be. Gaza is on his mind a lot. However, Nemo does not seem to realize that the Middle East conflict in particular cannot be dealt in like black and white. And yet there is a whole pattern of shades of gray when it comes to the topic. A lot more sensitivity on the boycott of Jewish artists would have been nice, especially from his past. His family tradition supports ancestor textile industrialist Arnold Mettler from St. Gallen. They did not like Jews. So apparently it's family tradition. Germophiles, they love the Germans. It was known as Hitler Mettler by his friends in Switzerland. She was committed to a center, but when they asked her to help, Christian group asked to help Jewish refugees, she said, Swiss Jews have so much money, they could easily help their fellow believers. How sweet is that? That's the kind of family he grew up in. And his uncle actually enlisted in the Nazi army and died in the invasion of Ukraine. But never a word on that. So there's a whole list here. You can Google it on Arnold Mettler and his affiliation with Hitler. So The apple doesn't fall far.